What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. In this video for the First Descendant today, we're going to be looking at my daily routine or my maintenance routine, if you want to call it that. And I know it's super wild talking about a maintenance routine as the season has just started. We're basically right at the beginning of season 3. But I made one of these videos a long while back, like maybe like season 1 or so on. And I still get questions from people going like, I don't know where to start. I'm starting out, playing this game now, or I've been playing for a while. And I mostly just find myself standing around in Albia, not knowing what I should be targeting and how I should be spending my time efficiently. And that's kind of like the reason why I wanted to make this, is because even though you're not in maintenance mode and you could have a lot of stuff to do, this is a good daily routine to fold in an hour of your time, which you can basically spend, which is going to be very efficient for you. It's going to get you a decent amount of gold, as well as a bunch of other things which are building blocks of the game and which you do need in the end game to constantly be farming. And so it's kind of like just a really good foundation, and you can then basically take this and augment it with whatever else you want to stack on top of it, and you're going to have a really good powerful place to play from. Let's go. So first things first, this is not a Descendant specific activity. I oftentimes use this routine on Descendants, which I'm actively still developing, as well as weapons, which I'm still developing. So it's not that you need a fully developed Innis or a Bunny or a Serena or something like that to push like fast times or anything. I've also, the timings that we're going to be talking about are going to be average based, and you'll see a little bit more when I start showing you some numbers right now. But the point is that you will I would say comfortably be able to do all of everything that I'm going to show you within an hour with whichever Descendant you're using. And at the very least, if you can't, then it's going to give you a good benchmark to essentially push for. So feel free to use anything. In the footage that will be shown with me playing, it will obviously be, I believe, Nell, and I was using Innis to do that. But yeah, it works for any Descendant. So first things first, the idea here being is that a set amount of activities is what we're going to basically be doing, all right? And this is every day. This is a routine that we repeat. So we're going to start off with what are known as disrupt invasions. Okay, so every day when you log into the game, after for me, it's 9 o'clock in the morning reset, you have these missions that pop up. If you've completed them the previous, let's say day, then the red would have gone away, and then the red comes back and so on. And there you go. So here, the first thing that I do is I do 2 of the disrupt on this one over here. All right, and the reason why we do 2 is because we want the iron heart particles acquired. So you get 250 for 1 run, so you get 500 for 2. So you do 2 of those, and then you do 2 on the other red. So the 2 red missions, the 2 red ones, you do the disrupt invasions. Now, there's 2 reasons why we do this, okay? Let's say the smaller reason is the iron heart particles. Most players have not fully developed their inversion reinforcement yet, including me. I think I'm on level 9 now. Sorry, you can't see it behind the fucking thing, but you'll have to trust me. I mean, we can go like this and you'll see I'll used up some of my points, and there we go. I've used up all my points. Cool. So I'm on level 9 of 30, and so just getting that injection of these points are also, really good every day to actually fold into your routine. The point is that there are other activities that you can do to also do this. You can, of course, go onto maps themselves, like, for example, Kingston, and you can do iron heart particles, this shit over here, which gives you iron heart particles as well. But this is just another way for you to just get a decent injection of this as well. The other reason, right, why this is good is this is one of the best activities for gold per time spent, okay? Gold is a very important resource later on in the game, in the late game. It's weird at the beginning of the game. It kind of like switches a little bit. So at the beginning of the game, Kuiper is by far the resource that you need the most of. And then when you get to the end game, you realize that gold is actually the real fucking gatekeeper. So you want to be doing these runs that I mentioned here right now. Like I said, 2 of one and 2 of the other, then they're basically exhausted. And so then you will get the gold that comes from that. Now, I could just quickly drag a spreadsheet over here, and we can kind of refer back to this every now and then. But the point is, those first 4 disrupt invasions, they're going to give you the iron heart experience, which is 1,000 in total, 500 on both sides. And then you're going to be sitting on about 5 million gold already, just from doing those 4. And then the times themselves is you're going to be spending about 10 minutes to do those 4 runs. And you're going to be done ski. All right. Then the next thing that you're going to be doing is you're going to pop on over and you're going to start doing yourself some 400% infiltrations. Now 400% infiltrations, these maps cycle every day. So again, here you can see which one is the 400% infiltration, is the one with the red mark on it. So today, at the recording of this video, it is Magister Lab and it is Seed Vault. The reason why we're doing this, all right, is because we want amorphous materials. Okay, amorphous materials is a way for us to get crystallization catalysts, and it is also a way for us to get where is it? There we go. To get energy activators. And obviously the chances here is energy activators is a 6% chance, and the chance at a catalyst is a 20% chance. And of course, these amorphous materials that we get from these activities, we go on and we actually go fight bosses to get those. The reason why we run it on 400% is when you achieve the maximum score on a 400% infiltration, which you will do by default just by blasting your way through and fucking killing everything. The point is we're going to be running this activity 4 times, all right? So 2 Magister Lab, 2 of the other, 4 Magister Lab, whatever. The point is that you want to have 8 attempts at catalysts or activators, 4, whatever, something like that. And to get 8 attempts, you need to run this 4 times because you get 2 amorphous materials per run. So I think the maths there hopefully checks out. So then the bottom line is, when you do this, you're going to be looking at about 1 million, just over 1 million gold, which is really not that great. But the point is you're going to be getting 8 of these amorphous patterns, which you're then going to go run on bosses, and you're going to get some decent drops from that, and hopefully a catalyst, hopefully an activator or something like that. Now in total, this is going to take you about, and again, it really depends. I tried to adjust for average as much as possible. I recorded this over the space of like 3 days to just test like different ones to kind of like just get like a good median. But the point is this is going to take you about 22 minutes to essentially finish these 4 runs and get you your 8 amorphous materials. And what's also good about running 400% infiltrations is there's really good Descendant XP in there, and there's really good weapon XP in there. You level up your shit very well in these runs. And then last but not least, these runs also drop an insane amount of purple weapons which you can dismantle, and they of course give you components which are also important to have for late game research, for developmental items and that sort of thing. So just really lucrative activity to essentially spend time on and do every day. Now as you can imagine, the next thing after that is you need to go and crack those amorphous materials open, the 8 that you just farmed. So you're going to look at which bosses essentially those amorphous materials that you just farmed open up. It will be Devourer or Dead Bride or Pyromaniac. It's basically, it could be all over the place. And if you do still struggle with some of these bosses, like there comes a point where these bosses, even all the way up to Gluttony, all die within seconds. For you, that it doesn't really matter which one anymore. But if you struggle with some of these bosses, like let's say for example you have the first 4 or the first 5 on farm, but you struggle with Obstructor, Frostwalker, Molten Fortress, and Gluttony or something like that, then, or you have a preferred one that you like killing Devourer because you kill him fast, and you don't mind Pyromaniac and you don't mind Executioner. So these 3 are the ones that you kind of like that really have no problem with. Then obviously let those decisions guide you in which of these dungeons you actually pick to get your amorphous materials from. And you can very easily check that out by, like, for example, here we can see, okay, this is amorphous material pattern 56 variant AD. So if I want to know which boss is linked to that, I can just hit L on the keyboard or whatever you have on your controller, and it's going to tell me, oh, okay, cool, this amorphous material actually opens up with Execution. And hey, look at that, Executioner is one of the bosses that I really like killing super fast, so fuck it, I'm going to run for this. So let that guide your decision in which amorphous materials you want, so you don't accidentally end up with amorphous material for, like, I don't know, Gluttony, and you really struggle to kill Gluttony, because then it's kind of like, you know, a dead run to you. But again, like I said, the point is you're going to be running bosses 8 times. You have 8 amorphous materials, so you're going to run these 8 times. And you're not going to haul out a massive amount of gold from these. You get some reactors from this, you get some set pieces from this, you get some weapons from this, but it's not really the reason why we're doing it. We're doing it so that we can hopefully have a catalyst or more than one catalyst drop, and maybe an energy activator if that's something that you're still looking for, so that you can pop those into research, and you research one for the day, which is like, you know, at least something, and it gets you a little bit of, you know, developmental material in your bank. Now, in total, this is going to take you, again, if you have a decently well-developed Descendant and you understand these bosses and stuff, this can be lower than 4 minutes to complete these 8 runs. It can take you a little bit longer if you struggle. But you'll notice that in the footage that I've been showing, I've basically been using Descendants that I have not developed, and I'm simply just killing them with Malevolent or Thunder Cage or something like that. And these are weapons which are, well, Malevolent, unfortunately, was a Season Pass weapon. But Thunder Cage, for example, everybody has a Thunder Cage. Everybody has a well-developed Thunder Cage. It's like the first weapon that you get, and we've had multiple chances at getting more of them. So you could just use a Thunder Cage to murder these. The first 5, I would say, Void Intercept bosses fold like fucking lawn furniture to a Thunder Cage. It might not be as fast as you wanted. It might not be a 40-second kill, but it'll be like a minute kill, and you're good to go. So that in total is going to run you about 4 minutes and 22 seconds on average, something like that, to do those 8 runs. And then that leaves us with the last 2 activities that you're going to do, and that is, of course, Sigma Sector. So Sigma Sector is super important for us to run at least twice a day. 1 time Broken Boundary, and this is on high risk, by the way. You want to run Broken Boundary once, and you want to run Isolated Desert once. And the reason why you do this is because you get the bonus 4,000 arc experience. Now, this is the experience that you use over here in your arc tuning. And every day you can get 4,000 per run. So 4,000 on Broken Boundary and 4,000 on Isolated Desert additional. So that's 8,000 plus the 1,005. Is it 1,005? Let me just make sure I don't want to fucking lie to anybody. You get 1,005 just by running it normally. Here it is. So in 1 run, if you haven't claimed the daily bonus shit, you're going to get 5,500 for that run. And then the next fucking run on Isolated Desert, you're going to get 5,500. Boom. So you can, of course, run it more, which gives you more, 1,500 a pop or something. But those first 2 runs are super, super crucial because they give you a decent amount of this arc experience. Now, this also doesn't net like a fucking shit ton of gold, only about 242k. But again, the main reason why we do this is we want this bonus arc experience, and we also want attempts at mutant cells. We know that these activities allow us a chance of getting a mutant cell box. This is another thing that you use to develop your Descendant in the arc tuning. So this is also super important for us to just take a poke at every now and then and essentially get that done. So that's pretty much it. That's my daily run. That's basically what I do. And doing that, all right, so let's just summarize here again quickly, and maybe I can just blow this fucking size up a bit here for those of us that have bad contact lenses like me. So the point is, what I'm saying is, we're doing 4 disruption invasions. That's going to be about 10 minutes average. We're doing 4 infiltration, 400% infiltrations, which gives us the 8 amorphous. That's going to be about 22 minutes. We're doing 8 boss runs then to unlock those amorphous materials, which is going to be about 4 minutes as well. And then we're doing 2 Sigma Sector runs, which are going to be about 9 minutes in total for those 2. And all of that comes together at 46 minutes and 24 seconds. That is my timed time for this activity. So you can see we're about a little bit less than 15 minutes under the hour time that I mentioned in the thumbnail, that I mentioned in the description of this video, and that I've been talking about. And that's important because these are the times as of the activity. So I'm not including times that you take to dismantle equipment, times that you take to load into the activity, because this is impossible for me to do. You could be playing on console, or I don't know, on a fucking like wood PC or something like that. So I don't know. So I always get shit up for this, for using the exact time. So this time I kind of like left a fucking massive amount of time open, 14 minutes in total for loading in, scratching your ass, fucking going and getting a beer from the fridge. But the point is, you'll be able to do all of this, I would say, comfortably within an hour. Even if you are starting out, maybe you'll take a little bit longer than the hour, but the point is, this is a fantastic blueprint or benchmark for you to go against and to essentially do this. And what that's going to do is that's going to net you 6.6 million gold every day, and all this other shit that we spoke about. So the Ironheart experience, the weapon components, the chances at catalyst fucking activators, the bonus arc XP, and chances at mutant cells, all of that, plus chances at reactors and yada yada, and all the other stuff that you generally need. Now, I'm not done with you yet, because there's actually ways that you can make this even better. So of course there are consumables in the game, all right, which allow you to increase your yield of experience, gold accumulation, Kuiper accumulation, sorry, I said gold already, weapon XP accumulation, and even like arc XP, right? So these bonuses, these can only improve your yields from this. So in my numbers and everything that I've shared in this video, I did not use any buffs or anything like that. It was basically just running just like that. All right. But the point is, you could increase your gold yield by at least 30% by essentially using like a gold gain buff like this, which will increase your 6.6 million by 30%. You could also run like weapon proficiency buffs, character XP buffs for when you do those 400% infiltrations, which will increase those yields a lot. Sigma sector, same thing. You could do the same thing for the arc factor. This can be a massive boost for you, especially on those first runs of the day. And so there are ways for you to squeeze even more juice out of this. You could even have something like a farm set. So if I go down here, you could have something like this that gives you gold drop rate increase modifier, and it's the equipment drop rate increase modifier, module drop rate increase modifier, and like character XP gain modifier. So you could have a farm set like this with those substats on, and that's going to even increase your yield more. So you could have this, you could have the 30%, and then you could do this shit, and you're just going to be making bank all the way. That's gonna be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and give me some tips and tricks in comments that I might have missed, something that you would do to augment this and make it even better. Like I said, think of this as a blueprint, not a finished product. You can tack stuff onto this. You can do more, you can do less, everything like that. Like maybe you don't care about, like for example, the inversion reinforcement stuff anymore. So I don't know, maybe you don't do the disruption, although you do sacrifice a shitload of gold if you do that. But I'm saying this is open to change, and you can augment this and fold this into something that makes sense for you and ticks the boxes that you need to do. But let me know how you would change it. I'd love to hear it. As always, I want to thank you very much for watching. The support on the content has been fantastic. Please do keep watching. I'll see you next video. And again, as always, fucking cheers.